You will learn in this video why Yield Games Guild, the YGG token, is going up that much. 250% gains in 7 days don't happen by accident. But the reason for those profits is not what you might be expecting. It's not user growth, it's not big whales buying in, it's something different. I did a lot of research for this video and I started off like you with YouTube. But all the videos we find are pure trash. There are screen recordings of charts, there are price targets of $5 per token. There's no fundamental research at all, but this video is different. We start off with the connection of YGG to Axie Infinity. Then we look at statistics around user growth. Then we look at the specific transactions that pushed up the price by more than 50% in less than 10 minutes. So we are going to stalk the whales that bought it all up. And then we're diving even deeper to find out where did the whales sell to, because they're not holding anymore. The people that pushed up the price are not holding the token anymore. And then the most important thing, of course, would it make sense to buy into this rally right now? There is a lot of backing behind YGG. And we can see this on the official Yield Games channel. It doesn't have that many subscribers, but the production quality is quite high, right? This is a real studio. Now, there is a link between YGG and Axie Infinity. You land on the YGG website, you get greeted with Axie Infinity, and that link is the Philippines. In case you're not aware, a lot of the Web3 gaming, a lot of the crypto gaming adoption happens in the Philippines. There are people in the Philippines that play Web3 games full time in order to make a living. So for those kinds of users of those games, play to earn is not just a fancy description, it is their livelihood. And so Axie Infinity has most of the games in the Philippines. The YGG founders are also based in the Philippines, in the capital Manila. And there's even a Medium article published by YGG around the connection between Axie Infinity and Yield Guild Games, which also traces back to Yatsui. Yatsui is based in Hong Kong, a game entrepreneur. He funded the initial seed rounds for YGG and Axie Infinity, and he's also on the government board recently, a crypto advisory board to the government of Hong Kong. So that's the guy here on the right, that's Yatsui. And here we've got Jeffrey Zerlin, founder of Sky Mavis, that developed Axie Infinity. Now I promised you the usage statistics of YGG. And here we go. This is Dune Analytics. This is the YGG token analytics page. And here we see the number of users of YGG. There was very quick growth up until April of last year, but since then we are growing rather slowly. In other words, the recent rally, the 250% rally in the price of the YGG token, cannot be due to the usage suddenly spiking up. That's not what we see on the on-chain data. So then I was wondering, if it's not the users that buy up YGG, is it maybe the whales? Are the whales accumulating because they know something that we don't? And here's the beauty of the blockchain. You can look at the single transactions and you can look at the wallets. Are they still holding the token? Have a look at this. This is dexscreener.com. And when we look at the chart, we can see a very massive spike over here. The price went from 35 cents all the way to 53 cents in a very, very short period of time. This was within 6 minutes. And so I went through all of those transactions to find that price jump. Right over here, we are at 34 cents. Then just a few minutes afterwards, we are at 48. And we can see two wallets over here. So one whale wallet over here, right? This is the same wallet, bought 16,000 over here, 7,000 over here, 4,000 over here. And then we've got another whale that bought here for 5,000. Now, when we look at those wallets right now, the current holdings, we don't see that token anymore. We don't see YGG over here. We also don't see YGG over here. So what's going on here? How is it possible that the whales that initially bought up the price and pushed it so high, they've already sold, but the price stays elevated? Who bought from the whales? The answer comes on the next two websites. The first one simply being YGG Markets. Where is the YGG token mainly been traded? And we see here The vast majority of trading volume happens on Binance. It does not happen on Uniswap or SushiSwap. It happens on the centralized Binance. So did the tokens go to Binance? The answer is a clear yes. The YGG token now can be traded on Binance futures. So Binance established a futures market for the YGG token, needed to have some tokens in order to allow for the leverage. Now that it's established, the price stays at that elevated level and people can trade both on the upside as well on the downside, depending on where you see the price going. Just the launch of a trading product for a single token can push up the token that massively long term. But here comes the question, does this mean that YGG will continue to rise from here? I don't have a crystal ball either, but we can compare this with Axie Infinity, for example. What happened when Axie Infinity got traded in futures on Binance? How did Axie Infinity long-term perform also versus Ethereum, not just versus the US dollar? And on top of that, is there maybe something around the tokenomics that might push up the price or push down the price? So the AXS token by Axie Infinity had been traded as perpetual futures for quite a while now. And when we look at the Axie Infinity price relative to Bitcoin, so this is not the US dollar chart, this is the Bitcoin denominated Axie Infinity chart. And we see after the initial massive adoption, we see a relatively constant underperformance, unfortunately. From the top to today, roughly 93%. Now we can have a look at the same chart for YGG. This is the US dollar chart, which recently sees this massive rally. This is the Bitcoin denominated chart. So long term, a very constant underperformance from top to bottom, minus 97% even. But now with the Binance futures listing, we get a spike up. Now, where do those underperformances come from? Why is Axie Infinity and YGG losing that much long term versus Bitcoin? The answer is token inflation. It is how many new tokens get added to the circulating supply. Because the more tokens there are and the less demand there is to catch up for those additional tokens, the more the price can depress, right? Price is a result of demand versus supply. If the demand doesn't grow as quickly as supply grows, then the price goes down. So the thing that matters here is how many new tokens will be printed for YGG maybe in the next year. Will there be a lot of inflation that requires the user growth to go up quite a lot? This here is the circulating supply schedule of YGG. We've got community allocation, treasury, founder unlocks, investor unlocks, and advisors. This is our current point in time. So roughly 300 million tokens. And this will grow within 1 year by 83%. And as a quick refresher, this is the current growth of the project. So within the last 6 months, we grew by roughly 7.6%. So this is now from February to today. So it does appear like the user growth does not outpace the token inflation. Now, I'm not a fortune teller and I can't tell you for certain where the YGG price will go. And nobody will be able to tell you this for certain. But what's important is always to look at all the factors that impact the price. And to me, betting on this rally of continued rising prices looks very, very dangerous. I'd rather use the launch of those perpetual futures on Binance to bet on falling prices. If you ask me, the most likely scenario from here will be simply, at least relative to Bitcoin, a drop potentially even to levels before this entire rally. At least with a rough doubling of the supply, we should be expecting a 50% drop or so. Feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly on this channel. Bye bye.